ties them up, and shoots them while Henry watches, powerless. The Confederates smile proudly at their work. They turn and leave, and Henry rushes to his father and brother, but there's nothing he can do. As he sits there with their lifeless bodies, Henry vows that they will be avenged. He gathers his closest friends together, and they steal a massive stockpile of Confederate guns in Lumberton and quickly begin to conduct larger and larger heists in the area. They specifically target the wealthiest plantations and begin giving food and supplies to the poor people in the area who are suffering the most from the war. His notoriety grows, and he and his friends become known as the Lowry Gang. For 2 years, Henry and his gang never kill, but they continue to steal from the rich, and he gains two contrasting reputations in the process: a hero amongst the poor and repressed, and a villainous outlaw to the rich elite. In April 1865, the South surrenders and the Civil War officially ends. Thinking the end of the war means a fresh start, Henry reemerges from the swamps and essentially disbands the Lowry Gang. But he soon finds that the plantation owners have no desire to let him off the hook for everything he had done to them, and they have him arrested at his wedding. His new wife helps him break out of jail, but Henry realizes that his dream of moving on peacefully had always been a pipe dream. He regathers the Lowry Gang, and they are done with pleasantries. In January 1869, the Lowry Gang goes to the local sheriff's home to rob him, and this time, they kill him in cold blood. They begin to hunt the most racist people in town, and they systematically execute them with no mercy. By 1870, the local police begin to catch and arrest some members of the Lowry Gang, so Henry goes and personally kills these officers too. Anyone who stands against them is their enemy, even the law. A bounty is put on Henry's head for $2,000. Wanted, dead or alive, this was one of the largest bounties in the county. But none of the poor in Robeson made any efforts to capture him, seeing Henry more as a hero than a villain. The police respond with an equal level of savagery, and begin killing anyone even suspected of helping the Lowry Gang. And Henry is always quick to return the favor. Henry continued to raid plantations and share the loot with the poor in Robeson, and as hard as the authorities tried, the Lowry Gang was simply always one step ahead. So in July, Francis Wishart, the new lead in the case against the Lowrys, stoops to the unthinkable. He orders the capture of the wives of the Lowry Gang. As Wishart and his men are walking the wives to the train, Henry orders a full-on attack. Shots are fired out from the swamp, and 6 of Wishart's men fall before he is able to escape with his hostages. On July 14th, Henry and a few of his lieutenants emerge from the swamp and appear at the estate of a powerful plantation owner. Henry and his men politely ask to be served breakfast, and the terrified family comply. After eating, Henry asks for some pen and paper. He scribbles a note and then hands it to the plantation owner and leaves with his men, thanking the family for the delicious meal. When the gang leaves, the family nervously opens the note, and they are chilled to the bone upon reading it. "The bloodiest times will be here than ever was before if their wives are not released in 3 days." The countdown has begun, and now the local elites begin to beg Wishart to release the Lumbee wives, but he refuses. 3 days pass, and as promised, Henry kills 2 more townspeople, and the promise of future violence terrifies all of the citizens of Robeson County so much that a group of them releases the wives of the Lowry Gang without even consulting Wishart. The government raises the bounty on Henry's head to $12,000, which is about $300,000 in today's money. Bounty hunters try to pry information out of the poor people in town, but nobody is willing to talk. Sensing the increasing pressure, Henry calls his gang together, and they decide the time has come to plan one final job. On February 16th, 1872, they steal $22,000 from the Pope and McLeod store in Lumberton, the biggest heist they ever pulled off. This time, the spoils from this heist were not shared with the community, and in fact, this is the last anyone ever officially hears from Henry Barry Lowry. He disappears from history, leaving behind nothing but rumors. Some say he accidentally shot himself cleaning his gun. Some say he ran west and lived out the rest of his days on the frontier. Only 2 things can be confirmed since his disappearance. His wife never remarries or discloses what she thinks happened to him, and no one ever claims the $12,000 bounty on his head. So that's the story of Henry Barry Lowry, the Robin Hood of Robeson County. Not sure if he was a hero, because he did kind of murder a lot of people, but let us know what you think, or what stories you want us to cover in future videos in the comments below.